Lions against child killer diseases Onlus. Scientific progress and development have enabled the man, at least in the Western world, to extend his life perspective, generate wealth, deal with diseases and defeat them, thus reducing mortality. There are countries where such a change has not taken place yet or is slowly beginning. Many of them are located in sub-Saharan Africa. This is where such diseases still claim many victims in childhood. There are the so-called child killer diseases. MK Onlus fights against these diseases with the project Vivi il tuo paese or Live Your Country, a series of social-cultural actions that trigger lasting changes thanks to health education, vocational training and many other activities. MK Onlus was founded in 2003 with the initiative promoted by the Lion magazine and the adhesion of more than 420 Lions clubs from all Italian districts. Italian Lions, together with MK Onlus, intervene against the child killer diseases and, guided by the motto "We serve," help families to improve their living conditions. MK Onlus operates in Burkina Faso, a sub-Saharan African country with a population of about 20 million people, an average life expectancy of 60 years and an infant mortality rate of 10% within the 5th year of age. It's one of the poorest countries in the world. That's where MK Onlus has concentrated its activity, responding to 5 of the 8 Millennium Objectives set by the United Nations, which aim at eradicating extreme poverty and hunger by ensuring food to undernourished children, reducing the infant mortality rate by treating malaria, meningitis, tuberculosis and AIDS, improving healthcare for mothers through hygienic and sanitary prevention and childbirth care, ensuring environmental sustainability, social and economic improvement of the poorest by building drinking water wells and creating village vegetable gardens, building a global partnership between rich and developing countries through conventions signed with the Lions and government institutions in Burkina Faso. Since 2003, MK Onlus has been investing more than €2,500,000 in Burkina Faso for 4,000 specialist medical visits, 18,000 eye examinations with distribution of glasses, 430,000 vaccinations against meningitis. It donated medicines and medical equipment. It restored 5 dispensaries, it furnished 2 transfusion centers, it allowed the creation of a pediatric pulmonology department, it built 2 multifunctional centers for children, it activated health education courses in schools, it donated food for 2,500 malnourished children, it activated remote support for 300 orphan children, it built over 60 wells to provide drinking water to more than 400,000 people, it created school vegetable gardens and trained 300 young people and women in agriculture and handicrafts. MK Onlus, in collaboration with the Lions clubs of Burkina, by means of the project Vivi il tuo paese, proposes a model aimed at the constant improvement of living conditions, focusing on local communities and empowering them in a path of autonomy and development, thus continuing to contribute to the mission fighting against child killer diseases. Second place at the Lions Club International's 91st Bangkok Convention in the Challenge to Change the World. Medal of Honor received from the institutions of Burkina in December 2014.
Dear friends, fellow Lions, first of all, I want to give you some information about Burkina Faso, a country we don't know as well as other African countries. Burkina Faso is located in central West Africa at the southern border of Sahara Desert. It is surrounded by other nations we do know better: Mali, Niger, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Ivory Coast. A former French colony, it gained independence as under the name of Upper Volta in 1960. The name Burkina Faso, which means land of incorruptible people, was adopted by the country in 1984. The reason why I am speaking to you about this country and our services is that Burkina Faso is still one of the poorest countries of the world. ranking number 183 out of 189 countries on the 2017 United Nations Human Development Index, which took into account longevity, education, and economic standard of living. We chose this country in 2007 when it was ranking 176 out of 177 countries as being a challenge for improving the life and the health of its youngest generations for these same reasons. Allow me now to give you some more information about. Many of the needs checked in the 80s, a literacy campaign, the outlawing of female genital mutilation, the vaccination of 2,500,000 children against meningitis, yellow fever, and measles, the fight against desertification, and the building of medical dispensaries have not been met, and the situation has not really improved over the following 30 years. 5 years ago, the Global Hunger Index told us about 1.5 million children at risk of food insecurity and 350,000 children in need of emergency medical assistance. The expectation was that in 2015, 500,000 children under age 5 would suffer from acute malnutrition, which would cause 40% of infant death. Poverty continues to be strongly linked to food insecurity, and nowadays Burkina Faso has almost 44% of its population living under the poverty line. The access to our drinking water has increased from 39 to 76% in rural areas in the last 20 years, but still is not sufficient because 24% of the population has no access at all to drinking water. The median age of the inhabitants of Burkina Faso is around 17 years, while there are only 5 physicians per 100,000 people. The literacy rate of the youth between 15 and 24 years of age was of 32% in 2007 and progressed to 50% in 2017. The per capita income was only $1,650 in 2017. While the natural resources of Burkina Faso are potentially those of a richer country, including many gold mines and other precious metals, and the last 10 years have seen the mining industry grow, these activities have had little impact on local development. These sources are needed for a better life standard of the population. These are the reasons why 13 years ago we chose Burkina Faso for a long-lasting humanitarian project. Over 500 Lions clubs all over Italy followed us supporting this project, which started vaccinating against meningitis 437,000 children and youth under 29 in a joint effort with the World Health Organization and UNICEF, who took over this task. We then initiated a new program, teaching youth reading and writing capabilities and combating malnutrition, maybe the most devastating problem at those times. We excavated wells, 62 in some few years, close to the villages. By giving access to drinking water, we improved the health of these people and their economic standard of living as well. We always signed agreements with the local government and kept in touch with the Lions clubs of the country for getting their advice and assistance. But the more humanitarian projects we started, the more of them we have found out would be of great importance for driving the youth of Burkina Faso towards a better life. We were and still are giving our medical assistance, know-how and instruments to the hospital in Sabu, which is one of the main places in central West Burkina Faso where the population finds good and experienced doctors and gets the help it needs. We have a wonderful team of devoted male and female doctors who go volunteering to Sabu and to other places more than once every year. We have friends, doctors and chemists who donate medicines and most needed equipments. And I want to stress that all these, our activities, are done in agreement with the local government, with the local population, and with the local Lions clubs. Now I give the microphone to a young doctor from Burkina Faso, Abdoulaye Diallo, who is a Leo, and he will tell you what he is doing on our behalf and on behalf of the population of Burkina Faso in order to improve the health of the young people. And after him, the microphone will go to Giovanni Spaliviero, who is a very experienced technician who is working with us every year, every day, in order to improve the projects we are developing there. Yellow.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Diallo Abdoulaye. I'm Leo. I'm come from Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a country in the West Africa. I'm immediate past president of my clubs. I'm a generalist doctor. So my English is not so good, but I'm going to just to speak a little bit. Okay. It is a great honor for me and all the Leo of Burkina Faso to present you this afternoon our experiences with MK Onlus. So we have been working for 3 years. We organize many activities. I don't present you all activities here, but just a little briefing of these activities. In first activities, I'm going to talk about the awareness of people of primary school on childhood diseases. So we organize many activities in the different villages when we sensitize many people on the childhood diseases such as malaria, the dengue fever, or the gastrointestinal diseases. We show them how to avoid, to prevent these diseases. Moreover, we learn them to the different step process to wash very well the hands, to take care of the personal and the body hygiene. In the second activities, we are going to talk about the project Sophia. Sophia is a project to permit us to train a new medical staff, the person we don't have the medical knowledge. So on the emergency first aid actions, With this project, we've sensitized 34 teachers of the primary school on the first health emergency. We show them how to put someone in this high safety position when this person is inconscient and is breathing. When the person is inconscient and don't breathing, we show them to do the cardiopulmonary resuscitation before the rescue come on. So it's a good project. We permit us to help the population, because in our countries we don't have a defibrillator like here. Here, when you take with different public places, we have a defibrillator, but in my country it's not like this. When you go to the hospital, perhaps you are going to find just 1 or 2 defibrillators in the great hospital in my countries. Though this action is very bitter for my population. The last point we concern the screening of cardiovascular diseases, risk factor. Because in the world today, the cardiovascular diseases is a serious problem in our countries. So we organize these activities to fight against the risk factors such as diabetes, the high blood pressure, the smoking, the obesity in my countries. So, with the help of MK Onlus, we receive 2,000 kits of diabetes screening. So we organize the activities in the different mosques, churches, town halls, and secondary school and university. We tracked 195 people. Wow. So all these activities permit us to reduce the mortality in the people. So I'm finished. I would like to have your permission to greet all the Lions of MK Onlus for the help that to permit us to reduce the mortality in my country. Thank you very much.
Fellow Lions, good morning. As you see, we try to fight against the children killer diseases. We began building wells for safe water. We began making vaccination, helping for the health, from the sanitary point of view. But after many years, we see it's not enough. We have to go to the reason why the killer diseases are so large, spreading. And we understand that we have to help the young, the mother and the father of the children. They have to have a revenue. They have to have the possibility to care for their children. And where we build the wells, we try to put a sound pump to make irrigation, to help them with the community, with their community, to have some fields where to grow vegetables. All the 12 years, over the 12 months of the year, to sell the vegetables, to have a revenue. We are starting that, to promote the capacity and training, and to be literate and so on. And for these objectives, we work with local associations, and through the help and the supervision of the Burkina Faso Lions. We have to emphasize the importance of the collaboration between the Italian Lions and the Burkina Faso Lions in the realization of our services. then the results, as you saw, we succeed in building wells, in building elementary school, in building infrastructure for health, for children, and so on. But this was based in the collaboration between the Lions and in the collaboration with the local administration, and make agreements between the administration and the Lions and the locals to sustain the services and to appropriate the services. Then this was the message that I wanted to add to the presentation that already my fellow colleague made to you of the results. And I let Federico to conclude. Thank you.
So now you had the opportunity to hear some details, some more details than those I am speaking about. And mainly we try to teach the women of Burkina Faso new skills, as Giovanni told you, new skills because we want them to grow in their own family, but in their own society as well, and to get some degree of independence. Of course, all this helps a lot for immediate needs, but in recent years, in respect of the growing attention of the government for those tasks we are putting on the table, we initiated a more complex project for promoting the social and economic standard of the families living in the villages. Those of you who have seen the short movie we showed at the beginning have already an idea about this project. The first step was to create kitchen gardens located close to schools where already we had dug some wells, and teaching the parents of the school children how to grow the produce of these gardens, which meant to become part of the children's daily menus. Last year, we started a new program with the help of a local association called Moise, and sharing its supervision with the Lions clubs of Burkina Faso. The name of this project is Live Your Country, and it will last several years because it is a very complex and very expensive project which needs the help of many people, not only many donators, but many technicians and many people of goodwill who will going to help us in Burkina Faso itself. The whole district cabinet of Burkina Faso is aware of what we are doing and is willing to participate and help us. Besides all these activities, which are our central task for the next years, we were able to build 2 social institutions mainly aimed at promoting the best development of the capabilities of the children in their first childhood in the territory of Bobo Dioulasso. It was a generous last will which allowed it, and now there are clinics with dispensaries, primary schools, buildings for meetings of the inhabitants, kitchens, wells and orchards cultivated by the mothers of the children, and each of the 2 schools have over 100 children attending, and the clinics are serving over 1,000 people each. That's what we have done. We are doing, and we hope to do and to achieve in the future. With the help of all Lions friends and all institutions, local and Italian, in Burkina Faso, in Italy, and wherever we will be able to find them. We need, of course, the understanding of the local authorities and of the Italian authorities, and I am sure that we will find generous people who will help us in promoting these tasks in Burkina Faso. I thank you very much on behalf of MK Onlus of the Italian Association I am speaking on behalf of, and I hope that you will, when you come home, speak about this project, and maybe we will find some other friends in your countries. If you have some questions, some remarks, please, we have time enough. We spoke not too long time because we wanted to leave some time for a dialogue with you and hearing your remarks about. Thank you very much.